What do you think of when you stand out in the middle of a spiritually intimate paradise? What do you feel when the depths of nature tug on your heart and soul and invite you into her peculiar and magical beauty? Peru's ancient roots of nature were beyond breathtaking. The circle of energy present, the dynamic colors, the mystical sounds, and the illuminating and alluring wonderland of terrains enlightened and resonated with me as we explored along our journey. Peru unmasked moments of mystery, reality, delicacy, and fascination. I breathed in color, tasted love, touched symmetry and culture, and nostalgic authenticity. Culture as an entirety assembled a unit that had multiple branches, shades, and mosaics of diversity. There were moments where I was hypnotized and encased with the energy around us. In all its mystery and beauty, Peru opened not only my eyes, but also my heart. We had moments of achievement, challenge, glory, connection, moments of emotion and unity. So wherever you are, and whatever you're thinking right now, know this, that the world is full of surprises, beauty, and a colorful spread of love. You just have to get out there and explore. Your adventure is waiting.
La costa, unida la costa, unida la sierra, unida la selva contigo, Perú. Unido el trabajo, unido el deporte, unidos el norte, el centro y el sur. Toma. A triunfar, peruanos, que somos hermanos, que se haga victoria nuestra gratitud. Te daré la vida y cuando yo muera me uniré en la tierra contigo, Perú. Vamos allá. Te daré la vida y cuando yo muera me uniré en la tierra contigo, Perú.
Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each Rotarians around the world. Welcome to the 6th day of our project fair. Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches a todos los rotarios alrededor del mundo. Sean bienvenidos al 6º día de nuestra feria de proyectos. We want to remind you that our fair will be held on September 18, 24, between 12:30 and 1:45. Queremos recordarles que nuestra feria se realiza del 18 al 24 de septiembre, entre las 12:30 y la 1:45 de la tarde. Each day of the fair is dedicated to one focus area. The projects will be presented on the day that corresponds to each focus area. Also, we will have the possibility of virtual tourism in some of the regions of our district 44-55. Cada día de la feria está dedicada a un área de interés. Los proyectos serán presentados el día que corresponde a esa área de interés y tendremos la posibilidad de hacer turismo virtual en algunas de las regiones de nuestro distrito 44-55. The fair will be in English, and if you want the English-Spanish translation service, you can click on the interpretation button found in the bar of your Zoom screen. La feria será en inglés y en caso necesiten o deseen el servicio de traducción inglés-español, podrán presionar el botón Interpretación que se encuentra en la barra de su pantalla Zoom. If you wish, you can also select to silence the original sound to listen to just the translation. Y si lo desean, también pueden elegir silenciar el audio original. De esta manera, solo escucharán la traducción. From the pictured villages, prosperous valleys, and exclusive wines, Moquegua is an area that proliferates as much as the fruit trees that grow in it. Located 1,410 meters above sea level, Moquegua is the land of valleys and streams, rocky areas, deserts, and beaches, a destination with a wide range of landscapes, excursions, and attractions that revolve around rest and gastronomy. Desde sus pueblos pintorescos, sus prósperos valles y exclusivos vinos, Moquegua es un lugar que prolifera tanto como los árboles frutales que crecen en sus tierras. Localizada a 1,410 metros sobre el nivel del mar, Moquegua es una tierra de valles, de arroyos, de áreas rocosas, de desiertos y de playas. Un destino con una amplia oferta de paisajes, excursiones y atractivos que giran en torno al descanso y a la gastronomía. Tacna, the Heroic City, la ciudad heroica, is the very symbol of love for one's country. It is the site of many battles waged in defense of Peru. However, Tacna has another history, the story of the ancient civilizations that left a silent legacy in the form of numerous petroglyphs and rock paintings. Nature and culture blend perfectly in Tacna. Tacna, la ciudad heroica, es el perfecto símbolo de amor por su país. Es el lugar de muchas batallas libradas en defensa del Perú. Sin embargo, Tacna posee otra historia, la historia de civilizaciones antiguas que dejaron un silencioso legado en la forma de numerosos petroglifos y pinturas rupestres. Naturaleza y cultura se combinan perfectamente en Tacna. dedicated to the focus area of community economic development. And it is a pleasure to introduce you to Bonaventure Van Dongen, manager of the focus area of community economic development. Este día está dedicado al área de interés de desarrollo económico de comunidades y es un placer presentarles a su gerente, Bonaventure Van Dongen.
Good afternoon and good evening. My name is Bonaventure Van Dongen. I'm the area focus manager for community economic development. Part of my assignment here at the Rotary Foundation is to advise Rotary members and staff to support local economic development projects. Since I've been at this position in February 2015, most people ask me the question of how they can design the best grant in community economic development. Today, my goal is not to advise you specifically on a specific grant, but is to share with you the portfolio I have the chance to be working on since 2015. Community economic development is one of the 6 areas of focus designed by the trustees to help the Rotarian to solve poverty alleviation problem. Since 2014, 1,486 grants has been approved for a total amount of $90.5 million US. The question is, what is about those grants? What kind of grants are those? I just want you to know that if you have people in your community who do not have jobs, if you have women who feel marginalized economically, if you have some youth who cannot have access to the basic resources they need to increase their income, community economic development is your portfolio. Since 2014, we have been supporting entrepreneurs, women group, and marginalized communities. So as you can see here, in 2014, the total amount of investment of a Rotary Foundation was around $9.1 million US, which at that time was a big deal because we thought that, okay, as a new portfolio, people are still learning. So, but you can see the movement from 2014 until 2019. And then something happened. In March 2020, we have COVID who hit. So even though COVID hit, we can still see some increase of this portfolio. But last year showed why supporting community economic development in our own community, in our own backyard is important. People who have lost their job, people who have lost their income, start looking at opportunity to grow their income. That's why you can see in last year, entre March 2020 and June 2021, you can see we have moved the portfolio from 11 million to 16.8 million. So the question you can ask yourself is how this portfolio is distributed project-wise. The main component of community economic development is vocational training. And vocational training can be anything from young men and young women who do not have job in your community trying to get some skills so they can get access to job. That can be a vocational training. It can also be some women who have not learned, who don't have some skill, but thought that with that skill, they can increase their income. So there is no, requirement for which trade should be selected and which it should not. The most important aspect of vocational training is to make sure there is community assessment, is to make sure there is a market analysis, is to make sure there is some mentor who can help during the process. After we pass vocational training, we can also see agricultural project, which is around 20 million US dollars since 2014. So agricultural projects are approved mostly in Africa, also in Latin America, where we have a strong group of Rotarians trying to help, farmers to increase their income and add value to what they do on a regular basis. After that, we have microfinance, small enterprise. Those are projects that's very, very known and well developed and designed in Latin America. So here's the dispatch of the grant distribution. Asia come as the number one receiver of community economic development grant. When you combine Asia and India, you have around 33 or 34 million US dollar since 2014. But we put out India here because we realized that India has a large part of our portfolio and want to see how they move. Americas come as a second. And when we look at Americas, we can talk about Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, but also US, who receive a lot of scholarship coming from Japan and other countries. Africa also is very important when it comes to agriculture and other projects. But Europe have a specificity. The approved project in Europe are mostly scholarship, and those scholarships come from Japan and the US. And those scholars usually they leave Japan and the US to study in Europe. So the total humanitarian grant we have since 2014 is 73.3 million compared to 13.2 million for scholarship. I want to highlight here that the community economic development is the largest portfolio when it comes to scholarship to graduate students. Here are some good examples of projects that people have done in countries that can inspire you if you want to learn more about projects you can do. This project, vocational training for Calamari girls in Nepal, is a project that has been developed by Rotarian in Western Nepal, seeing women who come from some very difficult situation need some training. So they did some community assessment and they selected tailoring, vegetable and pig farming, mobile repairing, and house wiring for those girls. After training the girls for a couple of weeks and months, 97% of those girls have jobs. So the question is, how did they do it? What is the main, idea? What is the main and critical point that make that project successful? Is the community assessment. They talk to all the professionals in the community. They talk to the girls, and they talk to the Rotarians who can become mentors. And some of them became mentors and help those girls to have jobs. I want also to discuss this project is a women empowerment in Honduras. Some women in Honduras became, start doing recycling. So they go to the dust, so they waste, and they recycle some waste and they select some objects so they can sell them in the market. That's why some Rotarians in Canada and in Honduras came together and designed 7 grants in 7 years. So the total grant was around 737,000 US dollar, and 1,000 women were trained and based on the community assessment. And after the training, we realized that 6 months later that most of those women have job, but not only they have job, they have double their income. So it means that if we can do a community assessment, we can talk to the women and we can work with people who need job in our community, we can do the same thing. The last project happened in Brazil. It's a project that was designed in 2007. And, that project, when it came on 2015, I was at a job, it was 30,000. And the Rotarian want for 30,000 so they can support a cooperative who does recycling in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. So after they came to us, we advised them to become a registered cooperative. We advised them to talk to the local government. And after all of that, in 2017, we realized that 20 jobs were created and they have triple daily rate waste processing. And annually, today, they process 100,000 tons of waste in that city. So I want you to remember that we can help our community, specifically during this tough time after COVID, where they need us the most. Let's work hard. Let's discuss with them. Let's do community assessment. Let's see how all of them come together, and let's make sure that we can provide the resources and the skill people need to get better job. Again, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to receiving your grant soon. Thank you.
The time to present the projects related to the focus area of community economic development has arrived. The Global Grant Projects and Club-to-Club project will be presented in video with a maximum length of 5 minutes. If you are interested in any of the projects, you can find the details on our website, www.rotaryinkaprojectfair.org. If you have any doubts or inquiries, you can contact us on the same website, indicating the project of your interest. Ha llegado el momento de presentar los proyectos que corresponden al área de interés de desarrollo económico y de comunidades. Los proyectos para la subvención global y los proyectos Club a Club serán presentados en videos con un máximo de 5 minutos de duración. Si usted está interesado en alguno de los proyectos, los detalles los puede encontrar en nuestra página web www.rotaryinkaprojectfair.org. Si tuviera dudas o quisiera realizar alguna consulta, puede hacerlo a través de la misma página, indicando el proyecto de su interés. And now, let's begin with project number 1, which is presented by Rotary Club Rotary, Community Bakery Implementation. Empecemos presentando el proyecto número 1 de Rotary a cargo de Rotary Club Rotary, implementación de panadería comunitaria.
Implementation of a community bakery. The town of San Jerónimo, Arequipa, Peru, South America, has a population of 4,000 enduring difficult living conditions. The Rotary Club Rotary Arequipa, in partnership with foreign Rotary clubs and institutions, wishes to carry out a humanitarian social project, a community bakery. The required social investment is $53,283. San Jeronimo's jewelers have provided a building of 40 square meters to house a community bakery. The following Rotary focus areas are covered by this project: support for local economies and community development, and prevention and treatment of diseases. In order to meet the Rotary focus areas, the local individuals will be trained in baking. The community bakery will provide ongoing training to youth interested in the trade of baking. The sale value of the bread will have a social price, apart from ensuring the sustainability of the project. Cookies and other enriched products will be prepared to prevent diseases such as anemia. This bakery will produce 1,800 breads per hour, and also baked goods, breads, cakes, biscuits against anemia, sliced bread, panettones, and any other products depending on market demand. What do you need? Baking equipment and operation of community bakery San Jeronimo. Required social investment $53,283.
Thank you, Rotary Club for Charity. Now, from Arequipa, we move to Lima to present our second project. Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia presents Tonko Warmi, Heart of Women. Gracias, Rotary Club Richari. Desde Arequipa nos movilizamos hacia Lima a presentar nuestro segundo proyecto. Rotary Nuestra Señora de Gracia presenta Sonko Warmi, Corazón de Mujer.
The Sonko Warmi project, which means in the Quechua language native to our country Peru, heart of a woman. And we have decided to name this project that way because the possible beneficiaries are women who need to generate a source of income to survive and who demonstrate this courage to move forward for their families and themselves. Many are single mothers with children who did not have access to vocational or professional training and who live in this youth village near Lima, but also far away because they are in this peri-urban area that is very difficult to access to, and they also live with very restricted basic services and needs. So what is the purpose of the project? The empowerment of vulnerable women in poverty, to make them economically independent, strengthen their productive capacities and skills in such a way so that they can improve their quality of life. What exactly will be done? Workshops will be implemented to provide technical training in such a way so that they can develop acquired skills on cutting and confection at different levels, on graphic printing, clothing, and printing on fabric. Once they graduate from this, they would be able to form their own companies and carry out the commercialization of their products. For sustainability, the project has the support of the Association of Residents of the Youth Village Portales de Basilio Auqui, which is recognized by the authorities and is duly registered in the public records representing 5,000 families. In addition, we have the support of the provincial municipality of San Antonio, which will provide security to the premises and assess the maintenance and sustainability of the workshops when proceeding. Finally, to facilitate the incorporation of the women graduated from the workshops, it is intended to facilitate links with the Gamarra Textile Emporium in such a way so that they can subcontract them and they can have a decent income. The estimated budget for the project is $30,000, and with your help, we can make this possible. Help us change lives. The Sonko Warmi project, which means in the Quechua language native to our country Peru, heart of a woman. And we have decided to name this project that way because the possible beneficiaries are women who need to generate a source of income to survive, and who demonstrate this courage to move forward for their families and themselves. Many are single.
Thank you, Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia. Gracias, Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia. And now, our third project is presented by Rotary Club San Isidro Este. The name of the project is San Juan Bautista de Mancaes Fresh Bakery. Ahora, nuestro tercer proyecto es presentado por Rotary Club San Isidro Este. Panadería Parroquial San Juan Bautista de Mancaes es su nombre. Thank you, Rotary Club San Isidro Este. And now, from Lima, we travel back to Arequipa to present project number 4. Rotary Club Arequipa Socoquilla presents Youth Development in My Neighborhood. De Lima nos dirigimos virtualmente hacia Arequipa a presentar el proyecto número 4. Rotary Club Arequipa Soncoquilla presenta el proyecto Desarrollo Juvenil Mi Barrio.
Global Grant Project Youth Development in my Colorado neighborhood, Arequipa. The Technical Productive Education Center, CEDPRO, Nuestra Señora de Fátima, is located in the Cerro Colorado Arequipa district, providing technical training to low-income youth in the area and surrounding towns. It has the support of the state only with teachers, but it lacks the laboratories, computer equipment, and tools necessary to ensure that its students obtain quality training, which allows them to easily enter to the labor market in a competitive way, which constitutes an inequality that we must solve. The problem. In the technical training of the computer science area, CEDPRO has 50 obsolete Pentium 2 machines to train young people for the current times, since not all the digital tools necessary to have a good training with the current platforms and programs cannot be developed well, which causes many young people to truncate their careers because they do not have the resources to go to the other private centers. The solution: implement a new and modern computer center completely updated for better development of the skills of future computer technicians in the area. This will improve the training program and create better conditions to compete on the current job market. The sustainability. The Technical Productive Education Center, CEDPRO, Our Lady of Fatima, agrees by agreement to charge a small additional amount to the students to save enough to be able to change the computers when they become obsolete due to the technical change, in addition to providing other computer services to the community to collect the money necessary for technical maintenance of them benefited. The Cerro Colorado district is an area with high population density, with many young people without the possibility of studying outside their neighborhood because of how difficult it is to mobilize in these times of pandemic. In addition, there is a high population of young women, many of them single mothers, who will be approximately 70% of the possible beneficiaries.
Thank you, Rotary Club Arequipa Soncoquilla. Muchas gracias, Rotary Club Arequipa Soncoquilla. And now, from Arequipa, we travel to Ica to present project number 5. Rotary Club Ica Sur presents Productive Education to Change Lives. De Arequipa nos dirigimos hacia Ica para presentar el proyecto número 5. Rotary Club Ica Sur nos presenta Educación Productiva para Cambiar Vidas. Thank you, Rotary Club Ica Sur. Muchas gracias a Rotary Club Ica Sur. I'm sure that all of you are enjoying our project fair. Just remember, if you are interested in any of these projects, you can find the details on our website, www.rotaryincaprojectfair.org. If you have any doubts or inquiries, you can contact us on the same website, dedicated to the project of your interest. Estoy segura que todos están disfrutando de nuestra feria de proyectos. Solo recuerden, si han encontrado algún proyecto que les interese, pueden encontrar todos los detalles ingresando a nuestra página web www.rotaryincaprojectfair.org. Y si tienen alguna duda o pregunta, no duden en contactarnos a través de la misma página, indicando el proyecto su interés. Now, from Ica, we move back to Lima, present project number 6. Rotary Club Ecology presents Sustainable Greenhouse for Rural Development. De Ica, regresamos a Lima para presentar el proyecto número 6. Rotary Club Perú Ecology presenta Invernadero Sostenible para el Desarrollo Rural. Rotary Club Lima Ecology. Now, it's time to present project number 7. Rotary Club La Molina Vieja presents Source Segregation Program. Ahora es momento de presentar nuestro proyecto número 7. Rotary Club La Molina Vieja nos presenta Programa de Segregación de Fuentes.
La actual gestión municipal tiene un objetivo fundamental: lograr el desarrollo de nuestro distrito de arte. Este desarrollo tiene que ser con igualdad de oportunidades para todos. Por eso, la municipalidad tiene un programa de segregación en la fuente y recolección selectiva de residuos sólidos inorgánicos. Este programa permite que personas con habilidades distintas y en algunos casos personas con discapacidad física y o motora de carácter leve puedan contribuir en el desarrollo del distrito y ser generadores de ingresos para cada una de sus familias. Este año 2020 tenemos un nuevo reto y tenemos un aliado estratégico, el Rotary Club de La Molina Vieja. Juntos queremos ampliar la cobertura del programa de segregación en la fuente. Juntos queremos darle mayor oportunidad de trabajo a las personas con habilidades diferentes. Juntos queremos sensibilizar al vecino sobre la importancia de la recolección de residuos sólidos segregados en cada una de las viviendas. Vamos a trabajar juntos para generar mayores puestos de trabajo y a sensibilizar a los vecinos del distrito de Ate. El Rotary Club de La Molina Vieja y la Municipalidad Distrital de Ate vamos a trabajar por el desarrollo sostenible de nuestro distrito. Adelante.
Thank you, Rotary Club La Molina Vieja. Now, project number 8 is presented by Rotary Club Lima Nueva Era, Entrepreneur Women, Business Women. Gracias, Rotary Club La Molina Vieja. Ahora es momento de presentar nuestro proyecto número 8, presentado por Rotary Club Lima Nueva Era, Mujer Emprendedora, Mujer de Negocios.
Rotary Club Lima Nueva Era presents Entrepreneur Woman Business Woman Project. This is a project for low-income women at Callao, Ventanilla, Peru. During these times of pandemic, the economic situation has significantly exacerbated the income and stability of poor and extreme poverty population. In many cases, these women who suffer violence and economic dependence on their partner have less access to job offers or do not have capital or resources to start a small business. For this reason, it is necessary to create mechanisms such as microcredit to develop new opportunities, self-employment, or microbusinesses, improving the quality of life of their families and social environment. The Women's Emergency Centers are specialized and free public services for victims of violence against women and members of their family group. To seek recovery from the damage suffered, these centers provide legal guidance, judicial defense, psychological counseling, and social assistance. Working hand by hand with this center, the project will allow entrepreneurship in micro-businesses and will increase self-employment, generating self-sufficient families, improving life quality and social environment. All the microcredits are going to be approved for businesses ideas, which will have a return on investment from the third month in advance.
Thank you, Rotary Club Lima Nueva Era. And now comes project number 9, that is presented by Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia, Healthy Organic Gardens. Y ahora llegó el momento del proyecto número 9, es presentado por Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia, Huerta Orgánica Saludable.
A healthy organic garden against COVID-19. This project aims to promote community work and self-management in the community, growing medicinal and food plants to improve the health of the population and fight against the economic effect of COVID-19 that has especially affected low-income human settlements. The goal is to ensure that the community of San Antonio de Jicamarca learn to manage organic garden activity and contribute to generate their own income and have consumer and medicinal goods for their home at their disposal that allows them to satisfy some of their basic needs. Another indirect benefit is that it benefits the urban landscape of the human settlement since they do not have any green areas. This is surrounded by sand in an urban landfill area. The organic garden will start with the purchase of seeds and other materials, and then the installation and conditioning of the physical space where the organic garden will work. The irrigation system in the elevated water tank will be installed. Then there will be training and instruction to the community volunteers who will start planting in warehouses and later transferred to the boxes where the organic garden will be operating. The supervision and monitoring will be in charge of the Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia together with their Rotary Promotion Group and their Rotaract. The results of the project will be measured by the volume of the harvested products and the amount of income generated by the sale of some of the organic products. In this way, we will also be measuring the number of trained volunteers and the number of people who replicate the gardens at their homes. The area of interest in which this project is located is the economic development of the community, but it also is a project in accordance with the environment. The beneficiaries of the direct project are 150 families living in the Sector 8 of the San Antonio de Jicamarca community in a peri-urban area where the water service has recently been installed. The project budget is $3,396, and although it's not a large amount, it will mean a great impact for this community. So we ask you to help us to make this a reality. Together, we can do it.
Thank you, Rotary Club Nuestra Señora de Gracia. And now, project number 10. For project number 10, we move from Lima to Arequipa, where Rotary Club Arequipa Este presents Manpower. De Lima retornamos a Arequipa, donde Rotary Club Arequipa Este presenta el proyecto número 10, Poder de Mamá.
Manpower. The coastal city of Punta de Bombón is located in the province of Islay in Arequipa, Peru, with a population of 6,466 inhabitants. Most of them are farmers and agriculturists. Rotary Club Arequipa Este, in partnership with funding institutions and clubs, wishes to carry out a humanitarian social project by helping 150 single moms from the ages 16 to 52 who lost their jobs due to the pandemic to rejoin the workforce by teaching them a new trade, making organic soaps. The required investment is $3,745. Punta de Bombón's municipality will provide us with a big and safe place for these women to be properly trained. The following Rotary focuses area are covered in this project: community economic development and maternal and child health. The training will be on charge of a company who also will buy all the finished products, this way ensuring the earnings and the sale. This translates in access to food, healthcare, clean water, and education for the family of these women. We'll also give them psychological welfare talks to prevent violence against them and their family members, with an special focus on how to raise their children in a nurturing home. What will we need? We'll need to buy the supplements to produce the soaps and an industrial mixer that will produce 500 soaps a day. The investment is $3,745. Thank you.
When you support a Rotary Club project, you are making a dream come true. Cuando apoyamos el proyecto de un club rotario, estamos haciendo un sueño realidad. With this, we have ended the 6th day of our project fair. Don't forget, join us tomorrow for the last day of the Inka project fair. We will have more projects to show and a closing ceremony to enjoy and share with all of you. Con esto llegamos al 6º día de nuestra feria de proyectos. No olviden acompañarnos mañana en el último día de la feria de proyectos. Tendremos más proyectos que mostrar, una ceremonia de clausura para compartir con todos ustedes. Thank you for your attendance. Don't leave yet, because we would like you to enjoy this beautiful dance from Moquegua, Carnaval de Putina. Gracias por su asistencia. No nos dejen todavía, que queremos que disfruten con nosotros de una bella danza del departamento de Moquegua. Con ustedes, Carnaval de Putina.